Hi there, my name is Robert, and I've been asked to do a presentation and to do with the vocabulary app. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so basically we have to go and speak to people and gather information and to have a direction of where to go with the app, what designs and so on. So then as we begin to speak to people, begin to then build up a persona. And this person here, her name is Leah, and she's age 32, and she's a mental health officer, and she lives in Kent, and she has goals and motivations, like people do. Now, one of the things that was one of my favourite of the motivation, as Leah was talking to me, and sort of said as she reads the dictionary, quotation is, makes me sound smarter when doing documents, having more understanding, like pronunciation of the word and audio. Now, for these goals, quote is, would love to have more understanding, like pronunciations of the word and audio when looking up upon the word for my report. Need to have a task reminders to achieve my daily goals, as in daily work task related things. Now, with Leah, she's a very busy work professional. She chases problems, challenges in her daily work life, whether it be in her professional working life, her social life. Now, in her busy working professional life, she needs a daily reminder of goals and tasks, words to look up and bookmark for later use in work, whether it be to add a word to the app, to the favourites, whether it be in the personal working life or in the social life. Now, as Leah is a working professional, she has a lot of challenges, and one of those things in relation with the problem statement down below is she talks to people, many people, she teaches people, she also counsels people and has reports, deadlines to her managers, and needs to gather the right information for writing documents and having background references for teaching people. We will know this when documents are produced for work and staff asking for references of information and when being taught. All of this you've got to have pretty quick, and that's one of the challenges that she has. So obviously you've got to have something that is time saving, something can have instant there with you, just like an app. And one of the challenges is, quote, is just need to have a quick preload of convenient words that I like to use for work reports, along with reminders to help me through my busy day. So as we begin to understand the person's needs and desires, we begin to then draw up different plans or write ideas and begin to draw things out, and the way in which way the direction of the app will be developed and so on. So this is the first part, is we decided to start from right at the beginning of the app. So this would be a splash screen. So then this would be the preloading screen, and then from there go onto the home screen. Now, as we did this, then we begin to realise maybe we should expand the journey a bit more, have a bit more, if you like, to help the user to understand the app more. Now, as we did this, we then decided to put an onboarding screen. So from the preloading screen, obviously we decided then as well to have a description, not a description, but a quote, inspirational quote, which gives you inspiration as you're obviously waiting for the app to load up for the first time, and then as well to have, if you like, hints and tips to show and explain how the app works. And then once you can go further down the journey, and then onto here, onto the gamification, and then gives you understanding how to use the gamification. And then from there, then you go onto the home screen here. So it's like all things begin to develop with the wireframing and so on. Then we realised if you're using for the account for the first time, then you need to sign up. Then you can get information from the user. Then we can use that information to set up the language, to have a different level of languages, whether it be beginner, intermediate or advanced. So from there, obviously something go through the process stages here, and as you go through name and email, as you go through you have your details here, and then you go into the language section, which is then third section here. As you go through, going through the process, so it'll either be Europe, and you've got the Asian countries and so on, and then from there on to the levels of the language. And from there, as you go on, you can then go on to the confirmation screen, and then from there go on to the social media, where you have the choice of to sign up by using your social media account. As we obviously listen to Leah, then need to set something for the reminder screen. So then as we begin to then get ideas of developing the home screen, and then onto the settings, and then from there on to adding the word, and then from there, sorry, not the word, the times and dates from there, and then have the confirmation from there. And then if you click on to reminder, then obviously then that's going to go all the way back down to this one here, onto the adding reminders and screen and so on. As well, we wanted to add a tool that will find the words and definitions. So from there, we then put a search taskbar from there, and then as you like a preloading screen, again you would have a description, or rather a motivational quotation as you are waiting, and then from there come out with the results. Then you would have the audio definitions, and then you also have the definitions and the wordings and so on here. And this obviously all of this here would be the results from that search from there. Okay, now the part is where Leah wanted to add the words and definition. So from here, this will be on the part of here. So then as we go through the journey on the profile, now we'll also be going through here, through the process, the journey, then onto description. You can save that, which is the word, and then from there onto definition. Once you've done that part of the journey, then you would go onto here, continue, which then saying well done, you have saved it. Then you go back to the page of the profile page from here. Now this is really great. This is like, we've got everything there. We've got the designs, we've set up the prototype, so now we need to do a usability test plan. So in that you scheduled to test a person, whether it be person to person or in some cases online. Now from this testing usability, you'll obviously be using the prototype with the wireframing and the sketches that we've done for the vocabulary app. The sessions will be 3 sessions, only lasting 10 minutes. From there, we will be using the metric system, which is use the Jacob Nelson's error 70 rating scale, and that would be from 0 to 4. 4 being catastrophic, definitely need to improve or change this before the product goes out. Then from then to the 0 to this is a usability problem at all, really. There's nothing really need to change from one end to the other end of the spectrum. Now as the sessions go, obviously we've set a task for the user, and that would be the create a level and set up a medium level, create an account and set up a medium level, set up a reminder, search the word food and add it to your favorites, and add a word and definitions. So we've got everything all sorted, things can't go wrong, brilliant, things are going good, but there was only one problem. It didn't. Well, kind of like this bike or this trike is, trike's like this app, as in depicts the app, because basically there's one vital part of the app that's not working, it's not there, and then it has a knock-on effect with the rest of the app. Like this bike, the one part's missing, it's not going to go anywhere, it's not really usable, it's not user friendly. So basically didn't go to plan as we thought. So then we looked at a results, we looked at the, if you like, the observations, the tasks, and then begin to realise, okay, there is a major part, then we realise what the major problem was, how to overcome them. Obviously 4 being very severely, and then we've noticed as well when we tested the 3 different users that in relation with task 4, all of them had the same problem, which was quite interesting. Had some interesting results here. Some were very similar to others, maybe 1 or 2 were slightly different on comments, and as well as we begin to, if you like, find out the results, then we decided to then, hey, this is not good, you know, obviously we've got the evidence now to move this forward and how to rectify the problems that the users had. So really, I mean, from that is the adding the word on the navigation bar. Basically, as one user said, remember saying to me, randomly bumping around to find the process of elimination. So in other words, then really all users could not find the feature, as I said earlier. One person said, well, the signing up process could be a bit more shorter. And then obviously at one point is editing the reminder. And this really baffled one of the users, totally a bit baffled. From there, again, we realised that the home screen was very much empty and need to put information, perhaps the progress and so on. And the most important thing is to add a favourites to the nav bar. Now that's one of the key things that we realised that from this result we needed to put in, because kind of like it's like a major part of the app, and it's a major part of the quantitative system where you have acts like a, if you like, on the bike, the wheel. So if you don't have all of the part of the navigation, then you're not going to have all of the wheel. So from that, so then we decided to go back to the board, back to the drawing board, gather all the information, work out what needs to be done from the information, as I said earlier, the things that I said earlier. So then we did a sign up screen, which is then shorter. Again, only 3, name, email and password, and then from there we did another feature which we then edited out, was then we had the language, and then we had the obviously the levels there, the language levels there on the bottom there. From there, and then with having problems with the user, when the users got confused about the reminders, so then we make it more simplified more, and have more of an understanding. And then from there, with the home screen, obviously we added the progression. So when the user is using the gamification, they have the progression and news updates. So then we can tell and communicate with our users and what we're doing, and be part of the company. Now the biggest feature, most important feature, is the reconfiguration of the navigation bar here. So then we pretty much add obviously my favourites, and then as well to add a word feature to it as well. And then this part here, we then sort of take the navigation, so the definition screen out. So then we decided to have that in with the word definition. So when you type in the word, we'd have the definitions there as well. And then on the screen settings is then we took a lot of things out of from there and just have it more sort of a lot more basic needs of there. So now we have the working component and everything seems to be running a lot more smoothly. So pretty much with this bike, it depicts then our app. So then we have all the bits together, and then what can we do next to improve it even more? As we go on to the next screen, what can we do? So then we can have one feature on here where I want to have an autofiller on the words section. So then when you type it in, it automatically comes up and the definitions will come up. Conduct another round of usability testing to improve the features and outlay. Implement the outcome of the third round of usability testing. Obviously the things that we have now tweaked up and changed to test those, and actually from there to do an actual step from the low fidelity to high fidelity prototyping. Then from there our bike will look like this. all the features, all the bells, and then obviously all what the user wants and the conveniences that wants, then obviously make that product and app desirable. So what things I learned from this? So help me to better understand the global navigation and to have a bottom nav on the mobile, which then to me taught me a lot, and as well to have certain types of information in particular areas. Try to have better opening in questions, no leading and no questions. That's in part of the user information, in user interviews and personas. What I enjoyed the most? Well, enjoyed learning software to do prototyping, getting the results from the usability interview and make some changes and quick sketches, wireframe, which is the wireframing. As well, in a task, user had some common problems with other users. So to me, I always like to see the outcome of the research, and then from this I've gained a better understanding of the task flow system. And that's it. Thank you for listening, and thank you very much.